Okay, all right. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Vivian Egu. I'm the founder of GreyAfrica. With me today, we have two amazing women in tech. We have Sandra Ezeibe and Lanre Adeoye. So growing up, I usually see women, when women are starting their careers, they are mostly in customer service, banking, and the rest. But over the time, things have changed. More women are now taking roles in the tech ecosystem. Sandra is a backend developer and Lanre is a tech recruiter. So, but before we go on, I would actually like them to introduce themselves. So, Sandra, please, can you kindly introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. I am Ezeibe Sandra Chuma. Sorry for starting late. We had like technical issues. Um, I'm a backend engineer with over 7 years experience working as a software engineer. Um, I've worked with so many companies. At least I have in my 7 years of working experience, I've been able to work with different companies. I started as a full stack engineer. I navigated to mobile. I moved to the financial space. I just started as a backend engineer. Currently, I work with League. So League is a health organization based in Canada, and also work with Stax. Stax is also a financial company based in US. So there I do back-end engineering. I have passion for solving problems. I have passions for solving life problems. So that's one of the reasons why I do well as a back-end engineer. So I think over time we get to know ourselves and get to know me more. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's like an amazing profile. I've worked with Sandra when I was at Robotic Systems. So that's Yaba Lagos. That's how we actually got to know. So Sandra is actually an amazing software developer. So the next person we have a guest here, and her name is Lanre Adeoye, and I would also like her to introduce herself. Hello, Lanre.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Really excited to be here. So my name is Lanre. I have a background in tech recruitment. Um, Currently, I am the co-founder of Workarena, which is a platform that is helping to get more people into tech and connects them to job opportunities. So aside from the work I do with Workarena, I also work with Stack Shift. Stack Shift is a Web3 company that is helping more people get into Web3. So we have cohort programs for them, and then we also connect them to hiring partners in the Web3 space. And then I also have like interest in startups. So I have done a couple of things on that front. And really, I'm excited to be here and to speak to you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lanre. So I got to know Lanre when we went to MEST Africa, and she has really been an amazing friend. Okay, Sandra, you say you have actually worked with different companies in tech as a back-end developer. May we know why tech? Like, why did you choose a career in tech in the first place? You could have actually go to banking, customer service, or the rest. So why did you choose tech in this first place?
Why do I choose tech? That's a tricky one. So my story is not like the Mark Zuckerberg story where he discovered himself at 9 years old. My story is kind of tricky. Growing up, I liked mathematics. Like I could be listening to music and solving mathematics, and I'm doing it well. So I thought about what can I do that I'm going to enjoy, that is going to make me that I will enjoy doing it instead of trying to struggle to read a literature, a biology. So I finished my throughout my secondary school. I was good with all the subjects, including business study. I do everything well, and I had this confusion of where to go to. All I knew is that I wanted something that has calculation or something I could think and solve problems and do well with it. Then I started off as I went to computer school. I started learning Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. In fact, I rushed and go and design my parents' business banner at that time. I was so happy because I could do something. I didn't have a laptop. I bought my first laptop. So my story, I got admission into computer science. As I said, no knowledge of tech. I thought I'm going to continue as a Microsoft Word designer, or I could do banner. Then the first thing I heard is like Java. I said, what is Java? No problem. Let's start with the Java. I listened attentive in class. I understood it. So maybe I was blessed with the gift of understanding, but then I didn't know what I was doing. I met friends. I met the right set of people that were already doing stuff in tech. I started off learning, meeting friends, though there's a programming language, Java. I started attending tutorial classes. And I find it interesting, though sometimes it gets confusing. I go to bed and I sleep off. Then I come back to it. I went for my IT. Everybody was looking for where to learn. I just went back to a computer school and started HTML and CSS. That was the only thing I knew after my IT. I went back to school. My story is kind of tricky. In school, I went back to studying mathematics that I love doing, but I was not coding. But one of the things that made me to start coding fully was I had friends that are very good, like very good. These guys are always trying to make it work. And I was inspired by them. So as God will have it, after my NYC, I strictly looked for an internship position. And that was where me and Vivian met. That was 2016. Started my internship position. And I knew that there was money in tech. I'm an Igbo girl, forget. I love money. I love to like get things done because I don't know how to beg. I was like, wow, this career, there's a career growth in tech. There's a career path in tech. There's something that nobody can cheat you with. If you're good with MySQL, for example, and you go into the database world, nobody's going to cheat you because you are going to step up as a MySQL expert. So anything, I knew that, all I needed to do in this tech was to keep improving myself, up my skill, keep learning and explore it. So I've been in tech for the 7 years of my life, and I'm happy that I'm able to I'm able to grow in it. I had no clear vision of when I started, but now the vision is clear. I'm now like more of a backend engineer where I inspire some other girls. So so I'm also here to tell people that forget I'm a backend engineer. There are like different other aspects where you are going to be doing big things. So it's not just limited to just the backend, which I do. So there are other aspects in tech. So sorry if I took your time.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for sharing your experience so far. And it shows that women can actually have different roles in tech and do that well. And talking about roles in tech now, Lanre, I know you must have recruited a lot of female in tech.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I would like to know, in your years as a tech recruiter, have you noticed any bias that women face in the workplace?
Of course, I think there's a lot of layers to the kind of bias that women face. I mean, I put out a tweet today, which was just, first of all, on the fact that a lot of companies, when they see like a married person trying to get a job with them, when they have like options, even if the person is really good, even if they're not pregnant, like they've seen that the woman is not pregnant, they typically would like pick maybe a man over that woman that they don't even know if she's pregnant or not. And it's because they're already like thinking about, oh, okay, if this person comes in and then she gets pregnant, and they might also think that it reduces like her productivity, or at some point she gets less productive. They also think about like maternity period and all of that. And the issue I have with even this kind of thinking is that there's a lot of like preemptiveness to it. So it's like you've even seen that lady is pregnant. I mean, I think even talking about like hiring pregnant women is a different conversation entirely, because I actually think people should. But that's like one strong bias that I find that people have. So when like people are considering giving work to women, they try to think and overthink these things. And at the end of the day, some women are like shortchanged on that. I think another bias is like even in terms of how people approach conversations. So, for example, when people see a man coming to have take a job and he's being aggressive or he talks in a certain way, and they find a woman just being herself, like just talking softly or just not looking as aggressive as the man is, then there's that thinking that maybe he will do a better job than the woman. Meanwhile, statistics show that women are usually like more organized and perform like better when they are in senior positions. So like these are like some of the biases that come into place, where like when people are making a decision between like a man and a woman, they just find factors that are not necessarily important and use that to make that kind of decision.
All right. So, Larry, you have noticed that women who are married, even though they are good in tech, they don't think that they are capable of doing the jobs. By the way, they'll be looking at them. You might get pregnant tomorrow. You have a lot to cover, to do at home. You will take care of your kids. So we are not sure that you do the job well. Whereas they look up to the man like, he just here to focus on the job and nothing else.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So, Sandra, talking about the bias that women face at work, especially in the tech ecosystem, you have 7 years of experience so far. Have you noticed any of these bias, or have you experienced any of these bias in your tech career so far?
Hi. So being biased. So I like being realistic. To be candid, I haven't really experienced any bias working with men in the industry, though it's a male-dominated industry. But I think that because of I know what I bring to the table and I know what I can deliver, I am not easily sweep under the carpet. Like I'm always known. So one of the things that helped me in my career for the last 7 years was I am I'm teachable. I'm not scared of going for that big roles. So you could see a role with this kind of skill. Even if I have like 5 out of the 7, I push myself for it and I grow in it. So it's just the way I try to carry myself to get to the top. So being biased, we're in a world where, trust me, they are looking for women, they're empowering women, they're telling women, come do this thing. So whenever you're in the space, they call you a queen. Like, okay, so people ask me, oh, why are you calling yourself Queen of Codes? I didn't bring that name up myself. It was when I was working in CM30, my first work after my internship company. My boss called me that name. He used to tell me, like, you should be called Queen Coda. I was like, are you serious? And I still use it because they pamper you because they like, oh, you are the only girl doing it. But one of the things I've noticed is in the tech world, even if it is male dominated, and if you're as a lady, you know what you're doing, you know what you bring to the table, I don't think anybody will intimidate you. Maybe I've been opportune to work in with men that always promote the right people. So they, even if once it's due, when I'm due for promotion, I'm always promoted. I've never been you're not going to be promoted because you're a lady. No, because I deserve it. And one of the good things most companies have is KPI. So they tell you your key performance index. You set goals, you work towards your goals. So if your key performance index is strictly an A, trust me, you're moving up. It's a world where women are now coming out and they're trying to be the best. So I haven't really experienced any biasness. Instead, I've been working with guys that inspire me to like be the better version of myself. So that has been my experience so far.
Okay, thank you, Sandra, for sharing that. I think as a woman in tech, I've actually experienced that when I work for a particular company. Let me not mention the name of the company here, but when I was recruited, I noticed that they actually paid the guys more than me. Yeah, but just like Sandra said, if you know what you bring to the table, you can actually negotiate your way up, even when you found out what is actually happening in the company. But that's like a bias there, because assuming I came in as a guy, they wouldn't have paid me a different salary in the first place. And maybe when they now saw, okay, she can actually handle that, that was when they started considering. But yeah, that's one of the biases we actually face as women in tech as well. The salary. Once they feel, some companies feel like as women, no matter the salary they tell you, you can actually take it. Why men deserve a better salary? And then for us women, some of us are afraid to mention your words when you even go for such interviews. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we actually need to break in this ecosystem. All right. So, Lanre, we are coming over to you. Hello, Lanre, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, talking about the biases that we face now, you have mentioned about recruiting a woman who is actually married in tech, that they face biases, and of course, the salary range bias as well. Do you think that there are ways we can actually work towards breaking such biases?
Yes, I think that, there are ways to break the bias. First of all, I don't think that women should be the one breaking the biases, because in terms of like talking about, oh, this is what you should do to women, I sort of think that sometimes it's largely a systemic issue. And I'm glad that, we have Women's Day to sort of talk about this to the powers that be. So I'm just saying that both from the standpoint of the company's decision makers, whoever is in power, they have their work to do. And I don't also dispute the fact that women have their work to do as well. So take, for example, you mentioned about like disparity in salaries. So it's very important that women do their homework, just so that they know what is available in the market and they can negotiate better. So like that's like one thing that's really important. Another thing is to just ensure that you're visible. So if you do work, talk about it, put your horn. So you find that people are doing like great work at the workplace, and sometimes they don't like write about it or make it visible, like tell their line manager. Like for example, if I'm working within a team or within a department, I want my work to be seen. I don't want it to be seen as a team effort. Not that I'm not a team player, but when you do something really great, ensure that it's visible, so that when you are being reviewed for a promotion or for a pay raise, it's obvious that you have done this work, and then your work can speak for you. I also think that aside from even like working with organizations, the work that people like working directly with the company you're working with, I think that people should look away from that and also think of themselves as a brand and say, okay, I as a human being and as a brand to myself, how can I like really put myself out there and put my portfolio out there so that I can also be visible for like when I want to change jobs, or if there are also other projects I want to do. So for example, things like you writing about like your work, building in public, finding your voice on Twitter, writing a lot. Those things can really help to elevate your brand. And it's not like it's tied to your company. So that when you decide to, make a move to like another organization, your value has increased at that point. So these are things that I feel like people can do. And lastly, I would just say that women should I don't think that we should put our value in the hands of the system. I think we should put our value in the hands of ourselves. So when you're thinking about breaking the barriers, think about yourself as being the person that wants to like do this by yourself and not like force the system to like break for you. So that's what I mean by like building your own brand. Make yourself very attractive, very attractive in the sense of like showing your work out there, so that when it's time for you to get a job, it is like there's no question about it. They would like want to hire you. Like what Sandra said, there's sometimes that some people don't even face these things because they're able to like be a lot more assertive about their work, and they're able to like be confident about it. I think that those are like ways that people can break the barriers and we can move forward.
All right, thank you, Larry. In one word, I would say stand out, right? That's the summary of all you have been saying. As a woman in tech, you need to stand out in whatever role you find yourself. All right, Sandra, we are aware that you have not actually experienced any of these biases, but assuming there are women who are currently facing some of these biases, are there advice you could give to them? Are there words of encouragement you could give to them? Is there anything you could let them know that they could do this to overcome such biases?
Okay. Yeah, so as Larry mentioned earlier, put yourself out there and be a standout. So good work never hides. No matter how people intimidate you, okay, let's say you know what you bring to the table, you know the skill you have, and you're employed, it will never hide. So I advise people to keep working hard. And one of the secrets is I don't get too comfortable in any company. Like I believe that everywhere I go to is an avenue to improve yourself. So just take everywhere you are as a stepping stone to the next level. Have a career path. If you're faced with a bias and you know that, oh, where I'm working is not mentally okay for me, apply to other companies. Put yourself out there. Like, I won't lie to you. In a week, I get like invites. The interviews I get now, I'm like, please, I'm done with interviews for this year. I don't want to be interviewed again because I'm not looking for again. But if you know you're in a place where you're not comfortable. Oh, I'm not paid well. I'm overworking. My salary doesn't quantify what I bring to the table. Oh, the guys are earning more than me. Then take a step forward. Look for other opportunities. Improve yourself and work hard. And one of the things that we even encourage more women in tech is we need more women as role models. We need more women. Women need to support women. So if you look at how the tech world is, you see a good opening, guys will just refer their fellow guy and they are in. But in the women's space, even if I know like so many companies reaching out to me, we need another female backend engineer. Trust me, I'll be hunting. I don't see it because I can't even refer you. But if we have so much women that are doing that put in so much work, that bring something good to the table. I know tech takes a lot of time, but you have to be very intentional about it. Have a career path. Know, oh, this is what I want to learn. This is where I want to be at a particular time. Put in that work there. Then apply for that job. Rejection, another point is rejection is never the end. I happen to study so many CEOs. I told you I work with a company, Stacks in US. It's a financial company. When I joined the company, I'm the only female backend engineer in the whole engineering unit in US. I'm not even joking. We are over 500 and I'm still the only female. But guess what? The people that work in that organization are so organized. Like, they are so organized that I had to go research who the CEO was. Guess what? This is a woman. This woman is freaking young. And she's living her life. You see her on TikTok dancing. I'm like, so this is a woman raising billions of naira. If she was scared about, and she's reeling all these guys, that's to tell you that you can actually get to the top no matter the amount of people there. So I advise people that first thing, work hard, be very focused, set goals for yourself. It's okay if you don't know a particular language at a time, like you're struggling with HTML. Set a goal, be intentional about your goal. When you write down what you want to achieve, be very intentional about it. It's easier said than done. People can just say, oh, I want to buy this land, though. They don't know how they're going to go about it. If you know, oh, the end goal is I want to get the land, what are the essence? You have to start saving. You have to know, oh, I have a source of income. I want to start saving money. I want to do this. Then you even go have a survey of the land you want to buy. And you go there and like, oh, this is the end goal. So it's still the same thing in tech. If you want to be a back-end engineer, for example, you want to be a front-end engineer, what are the steps? Oh, I need to start as an intern. I need to work. Even internship, they might not pay you, they might pay you, but it doesn't matter. You already know where you're headed to. So you just have to like make sure you're very focused about your goals, be very intentional about it. Then also learn to network, put yourself out there. If you know your CV is not cool, like my CV was not fine, I had to go and copy one of my guys. Please send me your CV. If you see the way I up my LinkedIn profile with stories, like I just had to like sell myself. And I noticed as I sold myself, I started getting attention, like attraction all over the world. So you have to know how you want to be positioned. So I advise people, you have to be very intentional about your goal. Hard work pays. Anything you bring, provided you are worth it, like promotion will always come to you if you put in the right work. So thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so now we are going to the audience. If anybody has a question, now is the right time to ask it. Of course, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Well, I'm happy you guys are doing this. Hopefully, I'm not the only male in here listening to you guys. This is like an eye opener. I got 2 daughters, nephew, and nieces, and girls all over the place. I kind of mentor and look after. So I'm going to pass this on to them. I'm trying to send your link to them as well, just to follow you guys. You guys are doing a good job. My question is, I got a company I'm running in Nigeria, and I kind of do try and just make sure we invest in young guys or entrepreneurs in Nigeria as well, just to make sure they have something we try and export out of Nigeria, not just buying from, try and invest in companies in Nigeria as well. I was wondering, is it okay for me to do one-on-one? And I have a TV station we're launching as well, to kind of interview you guys, maybe as a group or one-on-one, not yet, but later on, once we're established, is it okay for us to interview you guys on what you're doing as well? So we can put you on Instagram and YouTube, if that's okay. That's my question. Now, you guys are doing a good job. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Devo, for that question. Of course, you can. When you are ready, you can send us the details to contact.greyafrica@gmail.com, and we'll take it up from there.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, does anyone have a question?
Yes, hi.
Hi, please go ahead.
Okay, hi, Vivian, Sandra, and Lanre. Thank you guys for organizing this. Okay, so my question is actually in the area of networking better, right? As a beginner, you always hear offer value first, offer value. So how do you offer value as someone that is still a beginner in the industry, like to people that are experts, so how do you offer value in that regard? That's my question.
Sandra, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of running out of time, but let me just quickly say this. Offer value. So I used to advise beginners, like, don't rush your process. You have to, so people are easily confused by the noise than they don't know the work. So I used to advise people, ignore the noise, focus on where you want to be. You are going to offer value with time, but don't try and follow that process, follow your learning process. Don't try to rush to like, I want to be out there. Your skill is going to bring you out there, but your initial state needs you to focus. Do the readings, do the assignments, do the internship, learn, work hard. Then when you know that you have enough time, like you can now start putting yourself out there. Like someone like me, people used to tell me I'm not always out there. I try to be out there, but sometimes my work might require me to like focus more. And when I have less time, I bring myself. So I try to know where I'm headed to. I'm not going to force myself to be out there first. I'm going to come out, but first I need to get it right. So when you stand out in anything, it's going to bring you out. You can't, like golden fish, know the laugh, like if you hide, but focus